Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Off the Clock. It's the show where we talk a little bit of business, but we also talk a little bit about what you do outside of business, off the clock. But before we dive in and introduce our guest, I want you to make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so that you can always come back to watch more of these. And if you want to be a guest on the show, the link is in the description. Before we introduce our guest, it would be very rude of me not to introduce myself, and I'll be talking to you for quite some time. I'm Dwaynia. I'm the founder of Canadian Small Businesswoman. I love all things talking, all things business, all things fun, and I do like to drink a little bit. So I want to introduce my guest, the wonderful, the lovely Jane Cotnam, aka MIL. Hey, Jane.
Well, hello, my DIL. And yes, I'm going to join you. Cheers.
Cheers
There
to
you
a
go.
great weekend and a great convo.
There could never be anything else but great with you. So thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You're sweet. So tell us who you are. Let's start with that. People want to know. Who are you, Jane?
I am an old lady. I just turned 60. Can you believe it? Oh my God. Sorry, that's still on my radar right now because I'm confused as to how that happened. So I've been, and the other confusing thing, Dwayne, is I've been in business for 40 years. I mean,
Wow.
it just blows my mind. So right now, that's who I am because I'm consumed and obsessed with the fact that I've entered my 60s. Other than that, I'm the owner and broker of Your Real Life Insurance Company. And I've been a life insurance broker, group benefit broker for 40 years, as I just said. I have four amazing people that I call my kids, even though they're all grown up. What else do you want to know? There's so much.
What makes you so wonderful? Come on.
Okay, what makes me so wonderful? I love life. I have a passion for living. I have a passion for humor, anything that's funny. I love people with a sense of humor. I love a good debate. I love a
Mhm.
good glass of wine. What else makes me wonderful? The fact that I have had clients for 40 years, like original clients, are still with me. So I have, like I said to you, I have passion, but it goes into my business as well. I love, love, love what I do. And it's hilarious because if you introduce yourself and you say, hi, I'm a life insurance broker, people have one of two responses. They either say, I already have life insurance, or exactly, they do that. They go, okay, no, we're not going to talk to her. No. And they turn off right away.
That's
You're just
funny.
sitting there going, it is funny. It's hilarious because they just literally are more likely to do this than I have life insurance. Thank you. I didn't
Yeah,
ask,
yeah.
you know?
So how do you combat that? Because a lot of times, especially if you are under, I say about under 40, maybe even under 45, you're not thinking about life insurance.
True.
And oftentimes I tell people like the first thing you do as soon as you have a kid, get a policy.
Yeah.
But they don't
It's,
listen.
you know, they don't listen and they think that they're immortal and there are no illnesses for them to have. There's no disability, there's no critical illness. It's interesting because I'll sit there and if somebody does come to me and say, oh, I'm in my 20s, I don't need life insurance. Okay, depending on what stage you are in your life, do you have a student loan? And if you pass away, are your parents going to have to take the student loan on? Or can you have a little bit of insurance to cover the student loan? And then you've met someone and you've gone into an apartment. Do you have enough insurance to leave that person able to pay the rent? And then you've bought a home. Let's not get mortgage insurance because that's a whole other discussion. Get a life insurance policy to cover your mortgage because it pays you, not the bank. And as you
Mm-hmm.
said, when you have children, you want to make sure your children are educated. So you're going to increase your life insurance to cover debt, mortgage, and the children's education. And then they leave and you can lessen your life insurance. So it's really interesting because the flow of life goes like this, and so should insurance. So really, you should be constantly talking to your advisor.
There you go. So keep rewatching this until you get it. Like keep rewatching the last 5 minutes and 5 seconds until you get it. Right? Because
Right.
we're not going to talk
Right.
too much insurance. Don't be fooled. We're not going to sit here and talk insurance the whole time, people.
No,
But just
no.
so you know, you need it, and you should call Jane if you know. Yeah, she'll hook you
I think
up.
you should.
She hooked me up.
I know I have people who know people, so yeah.
She knows people, and even
I
if, as I said, she hooked me up. Even if you need additional coverage after you've had something like I've had breast cancer, it's still
yeah.
possible. So
It
no
is
escape.
actually there's a whole other industry. There's a whole other side of life insurance, as you know, Dwayne. For anybody who's gone through cancer or any kind of medical scare, you're still insurable, and it doesn't have to be expensive.
Yeah,
So
yeah. There you go. So
there you go.
now you know what Jane does, day to
Yep.
day. I peeped your social media and I actually had to show it to my husband. I'm like, look at these colors. I wonder where Jane took
Oh,
these pictures. This is beautiful. Where were you? Was this in Mississauga? Because it was absolutely stunning. You know what pictures I'm talking about.
I do know what
The-
pictures you're talking about. So one of my favorite things in the world is to hike and hike with one. I have three rescue dogs, and one of them is his name's Teddy. He is a standard poodle. He's from Korea, from the dog meat trade, and he's a rescue, but he's the gentlest soul I've ever rescued. And he and I love to hike, and so that was at Terracotta, which is kind of Milton. Yeah, it's a 7 kilometer loop. So it's easy to do. And at the top of it, there's a lake. And that lake in the winter, I guess it's under Halton. In the winter, Halton actually grooms it as a skating rink. So you can
oh,
actually hike up and then go skating on the rink. It's so cool. So,
okay. I did not know that existed because I was actually in Gatineau Park hiking a
oh,
7K loop.
yeah.
So I saw your pictures. So I was like, where is she?
I'm right behind you.
Mhm,
I
mhm.
mean, yeah, no, right behind you.
Right behind me. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that is awesome. It was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. You all like now is the time to go out and really take a look because the trees are changing and it's like all the
Yeah.
variations up until you get to that red. It's just
Right.
beautiful. Oh,
Except right now with today's windstorm, I have this thick of leaves in the backyard. All colors, it looks gorgeous, but it's going to be a lot of work later.
it
Are you coming
is
over?
fun.
Are you going to help?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay.
I can't
I thought
even
I'd
tell you
ask.
if I've ever raked. I know I never mowed a lawn. That's for sure. Don't know if I've ever raked. No, I
I
don't
have a rake
remember.
your size waiting for you. I'll even put your name on it. No.
I pulled weeds for the first time probably like 2 or 3 years ago, and then I was like, "This is for the birds. I'm not doing that again.
Oh dear.
Not for me. I'm
Yeah,
not built for."
there's so many great places just within 30 kilometers of where I am that you can go hiking. Like Rattlesnake Point's another one. It's gorgeous.
Mm,
Crawford Lake is stunning, and they have all these beautiful sculptures. So, I mean, there's so many places. We're so lucky because there's so many places right around us that we can just easily hop in the car, throw your dog in the car. Well, not you, obviously, but
mm,
I know how you feel about dogs. No, not going to happen. But Teddy and I like to go hiking. So, and they're safe. It's, as a woman hiking alone, I'm actually hiking on paths and it's very safe. So
mm.
it's not like I'm treading new paths or, bushwhacking. So could you
That would be a
imagine?
sight to see. That would be a sight to see.
Come on, Teddy, let's go.
Oh my goodness. So I also know you like traveling because you seem to go a lot of places. I mean, now you go to the UK and.
Yes. Yes, because your favorite person is there. My eldest daughter moved to the UK 4 years ago, and she is going to become a citizen. And she is pretty amazing because while she was under lockdown in COVID, she decided to do her MBA.
Oh my
So she
goodness.
did that, and she works for a small boutique business analyst company, and she's so happy there. So we get to go. I love to fly over. Flying over to the UK is probably the most expensive part, but once you're there, we've gone to Portugal, we've gone to Marrakesh. It's nothing. The price of travel once you're in Europe is ridiculously low compared to what we would pay. So, so she's there. My sister lives in Boulder, Colorado. So I get to go to Boulder. My niece works in the Senate in Washington, D.C. for a Democrat. I was for a Democrat.
Thank you very much.
Got to make sure the world knows she's on the Democratic track. So I get to go to DC to see her. And and then my son lives downtown. My other daughter is in Windsor at University of Windsor, as you know, doing her education. And then
Alumni.
the baby, yes, yeah. And I think she reached out to somebody. She's actually working on the diversity forum right now. She's doing a lot of research for inclusivity and diversity. So she took her advice and she reached out to that professor, and she's actually working with her. So very cool. Thank you for that.
She's working with Miriam. Yeah. Miriam's great. We have not yet met in person, but she's great.
Well, she's been amazing, and Alex is having the time of her life. Like, she's so busy, and she's gone back to school as well. So she decided to take COVID and do the same thing, and she went back to get a second degree, and this is through Ontario Teachers College, and she really wants to teach grade 2 and 3.
So now that everyone is out of the house, right?
Yep.
How is that working out for you? I know you're hiking, you have the dogs, but how's that working out?
It's interesting. It can get a little lonely. It can be, when they come home, it's loud, it's huge, it's big. And then when they leave, it's like, huh. But my youngest is home because she started Ryerson during COVID. And her first year, she was in residence, and she was alone in a 4-bedroom apartment. And everything was on Zoom anyway. So she moved home last year. So this year is her 3rd year. It's her first year actually going to class. 3rd year of university, first year going into classes. And I'm 7 minutes away from Kipling subway station. So she takes the subway in and out. So she's home. But I mean, she's going.
I thought somehow she was still downtown.
No, she came back. But she will be probably out next year as well. But you know what? It's interesting. There's so much to do. I work almost full time. I'm really lucky because in the position I have, the company that I own, I work my own hours. So if I'm doing paperwork, I can do it at night, and I can take advantage of the weather. If I'm meeting with a client now, COVID actually kind of brought the insurance companies into 2022. Fighting, because we could never do digital signatures before. We couldn't do online applications. So they've taken 10 years of technology and thrown it into the last 2.5 years. And I'm finding clients now just want to meet on Zoom. They don't need to have me come to their house.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. It's more comfortable for them to see me this way than it is. So, you know, I'm home. So it's nice. It's pleasant. But I mean, I'm always busy. So I sew. I do a lot of sewing. I ski in the winter time as much as I can. I grew up in northern Quebec with all the snow and the wonderful activities, and I just continue to do that.
So what do you sew?
Well, I would show you now, but I just took it off my mannequin. But I used to my eldest daughter used to sing opera and choir, and she was a pianist, and I used to sew her gowns. I would make her gowns. I've made wedding gowns before. I have made, my youngest niece loves anything from the 50s. So I make dresses for her from the 50s and 60s that she can't find. So I will actually sew them for her.
Yeah. I didn't know this about you. That's cool. Like you actually have a mannequin and you're sewing.
Wow. It's wrong way. Wait a minute. Where am I going? There it is. It's over in the corner there.
Wow.
I can't even get, you know what? I'm so bad with the camera. I can never figure out the angles of anything. I'm lucky it's on my face.
Oh my.
Yep.
Wow.
True
Okay, so
story.
sewing, you like sewing. I like it. And
And
skiing, let me tell
and
you, I've
skiing.
only done it a couple of times.
Well, I'll
It's
get you out
okay,
this
but
winter. It's okay. It's a
I mean,
great
I
way to
go
make the
skiing
winter
because
go by fast.
I guess, but okay, I go to Blue a lot. I do love it. It's
Mhm.
one of my favorite places to go. Summer, winter, I don't care when. But I've only skied like twice. I just like going.
So what do you do when you're there?
I just hang out. We walk around. In the summer, we hike and
Yeah,
just roam. And in the winter, we just do a lot of roaming and just relaxing because it's nice.
it
And
is
like
nice.
like my nephews, like we'll get like Darius, he'll do the ski classes and we'll go cheer him on and laugh and all that good stuff. But
Nice.
I don't usually ski. Like the first time it was okay. Now I don't think my body is even ready for it because I I don't move the same. I'm not as comfortable anymore and I also am afraid to break anything.
Well, that's normal, right? As we get older, we're further from the ground and it's going to hurt more. We're not as flexible. But
Yeah.
and it's interesting because I was skiing in Vail last winter, and that was January. But the November before, I was on Capitol Hill, and I was walking and with my niece and my sister, and I was looking backwards, which was my first mistake. Ran into a sign, a no parking
Oh,
sign on Capitol Hill. I walked right into it. The sign fell. I fell right on my knee, and I had Capitol Police running over to me, like, "What's the noise?" And I'm like, "It's okay, I'm Canadian." Got up, but actually tore my meniscus. So I actually did damage to my knee. So in January, me being all, she-ra and whatever, I'm like, okay, oh no, I'm great. I can do this. Put on my knee brace, go skiing. Bad idea. So you're right. We're more fragile as we get older, or we're just, in my case, just dumber. But
leave it up
no.
to Jane to go and wreck the Capitol.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely,
And why were
absolutely,
those
yeah.
people telling you that the sign was there? Were all of you looking backwards?
No, they were. I'm a little bit of, oh look, squirrel. And I was looking at a structure behind me. So I was walking like this, and I'm talking to myself apparently because I was like, oh my God, this is so pretty. Look at this. They were gone.
Oh
I was
my
just
goodness.
trailing after them. Yep. This is what
It's
I said
okay.
to you in the beginning. You have to have a sense of humor,
Yeah, you do.
right? Yeah. Life throws you all
Okay,
these curves.
so sewing, walking into things, skiing, hiking. I just want to make sure I capture it all. Yes, that's the
And
essence of Jane, everyone. The essence of Jane. So, what are you? Because Christmas is coming.
hang on.
Oh, and he does sign language.
Yeah.
Yes, that means yes.
That means yes, that means no. And I can show
Yes.
you a great sign that's really rude, but maybe not.
I mean, we all know the one finger that we should, but all the other stuff, I don't know.
Well, if you take that one finger and you put it on a base like this, and you put that one finger up in the air, that's actually the CN Tower. That's the true American Sign Language for CN Tower.
Really?
But if you don't have the land, the base, it's not the CN
But then
Tower
it's
anymore.
wow. Okay,
Yeah.
learn something. We all learned that.
Right?
This right here, we learned that.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
So now the holiday's coming, and I'm sitting here. I actually have a list that I just started writing because I'm like, I feel like I want to do like a little holiday shindig on YouTube and have everyone
Ooh.
come on and we chat, we sing, we share stories, we give away prizes, do all the things. What are you looking forward to for the holidays?
Well, I have to warn you, if I am invited, I can't sing. I will sing, but I cannot and should not be singing. So, fair warning. Not a good idea. What am I looking forward? I love having my whole family together. I love the noise. They come home with their partners, and it's well, though last Christmas one came home with a partner who gave us all Omicron, but other than that, this Christmas should be different. But Christmas is like I vomit Christmas everywhere. I love
Wow.
it. I love it. I put lights everywhere. I put trees everywhere. Um, I love it.
Trees
It's just
plural.
plural. Plural. I put one in
Okay.
my office over here. I put one in the dining room, one in the big one in the living room. I put a little one in the fireplace room. I put one in the basement.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. Okay, you're Christmas everywhere. Wow.
I literally vomit Christmas everywhere. I love the fullness of it. I love by fullness I mean everybody comes home and it's loud and it's no one sleeps, and it's just my four kids get along so incredibly well together. Um, they finish my 33-year-old and my 28-year-old complete each other's sentences, and then the 30-year-old and the 20-year-old are glued to each other. But the four of them
Oh,
together, we have movie nights. Like during COVID was great because we had, well, other than my eldest who lived in the UK, the others came home and we would have movie night once a week. And like that was my favorite night of the week. It was hilarious. It was just, my daughter Alex would put all these snacks out, make popcorn, and my son would get the projector going. And it was such a great feeling to have everybody together. And I guess that's what I love about Christmas. It's everyone together.
aw. That is
Yeah.
so cute.
I'm a big
So is
suck.
there okay, I didn't say it, she did.
You were thinking it.
Maybe. Just maybe. Is
Awesome.
there a particular like meal that you always look forward to during the holidays?
Well, I come from a traditionally French area and French background, and growing up, we would do réveillon. Réveillon is literally means wake up. And you would go to midnight mass and you would have your meal. It was Christmas Eve, midnight mass, and you would come home and have your meal then. So your meal would be
Oh,
at like 2 in the morning, and it would traditionally be tourtière, and ham or baked beans was a big one. What I've done since that was very much a Quebec upbringing. What I did with the family is we will have, oddly enough, lasagna on Christmas Eve. And the four kids created their own little tradition that they still do to this day. They have what they call the little tree. And the little tree is a separate tree that's just theirs. And they have to make each other handmade gifts. And they open
oh,
them Christmas Eve. And even at the age they're at, they still do that. So we have
okay,
this
that's
big lasagna meal. I told you they all get along, right? We had this big lasagna meal, and then they go downstairs and they have their little tree and they open their presents to each other. And then the next day, it's like traditional Christmas.
wow. Okay, we don't have any traditions like that, but I think that's cute. That is super cute.
Oh, I love the
Oh,
fact that they still do it. You know, it's so
oh,
fun. Two in their 20s, two in their 30s, and they're still doing it.
no, that's really good. I like that bond, and it's something that they will probably do forever, and they will probably pass it down. That's cute.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
looking forward to
exactly.
Christmas. It's cold, but I do like having like sorrel is one drink. Well, I drink sorrel all year round. I don't wait for Christmas for that to happen. Um, I
What do
also
you drink?
sorrel. It's looks like a hibiscus plant,
Oh,
but
okay.
it's a drink that's made from, and you usually have ginger in it, so it has like a nice little
Nice.
tang, and you can add rum to it.
You can
Add
add
rum.
rum to anything.
Yep.
That's awesome.
And
So what are some of your
one,
traditions other than that?
just like it's more food than things to do. So sorrel is a big thing, and like Christmas cake, which is not the same as the British traditional fruit cake. Nobody wants that.
Right.
This one is like,
You're not wrong.
no, nobody wants that. That's dry. It's
It
like
is.
there are different islands call it different things. It could be black cake, it could be Christmas cake, it could be rum cake, but it's like
Okay.
ground up fruit, and it's usually dark because of like the molasses that you put in it, and or
Mm.
the browning, and you add rum to it to steam it after, and
Oof.
that keeps the moisture in, because it steams off the alcohol, but you still capture the rum flavor. But the fruits are soaked in rum before you bake them.
Ooh, double rum. That sounds
Yes, double
amazing.
rum.
Did you
It's
make it?
kind of like, oh yeah.
Nice.
It's kind of like the closest thing I can say. Okay, I absolutely love a sticky toffee pudding.
Oh, I
Like,
do too. Oh, so
I'm
good.
salivating.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm.
To me, it's the closest texture, but you would have the
Okay.
ground up fruit in it with the rum flavor. Like that's the
Oh,
closest texture I could think
nice.
of. And the only place, if anyone wants to challenge them, send me all the samples. But the only place in the GTA that makes a good sticky toffee pudding, and they
Okay.
make it for Christmas, and they'll deliver it,
Okay, I'm
is
writing this down.
Bobette and Bell sticky toffee pudding is the
And
shiznits.
Bell.
Quote me on that.
Really? The best one I've ever tasted, I'm gluten free, not by choice, but the best one I have ever tasted was actually in this teeny tiny little village in the UK. And Katie, my eldest, and my aunt, I had brought her over to the UK in 2019. We were sitting an hour away from London in this tiny little pub, and it said sticky toffee pudding, which I adore. And then in brackets, it said gluten free. And I was like, what? There's such a
What?
thing? Well, of course, celiac was discovered in the UK, right? So they have a
So
lot of gluten free options. That's
mhm.
one of the reasons I love going. I love going to grocery shop there. But this was, honest to goodness, Dwayne, you would never know it was gluten free. You would die. It was so, so good.
That's
Just, yeah,
impressive because I don't voluntarily taste gluten-free anything.
nobody does. Why would you? Why would
I
you?
know.
If I didn't have
I
to
mean,
be,
I've
I
had
would
it at
not
a
be.
pub in England before, and it was good because I remember that's the first time my mom ever tasted. This was 2019 as well. We were in London,
Oh, that's
and
right. You
my
were.
yeah, my cousin, my mom, Jamal, and myself, we decided let's go to a pub. And like the meal was so huge, we're like packing things to go. But I'm like, I need a sticky toffee pudding. And my mom's like, you're gonna really take that to go? I'm like, yes, I will. And she tried it,
Practiced.
and she's like, oh, I see. I see. This is
So did you take two to go?
no, we shared the one. It was fine because I was already
You
totally
shared.
full. But they put ice cream on it, so we were just going in.
Mm,
Yeah,
that's
yeah. Sticky toffee
amazing.
pudding, GTA, Bobette and Belle. I know
I
you're not
wrote
paying
that
me for
down.
this, but I can take my payment in sticky toffee pudding.
Oof, where are they located?
They're in Toronto. I think they might be
Okay.
on, are they on Young?
I will look it up for sure.
Yeah, I think they're like Young north of Eglinton, but they deliver. Like I had it delivered to my door because I don't go places lately. They delivered it to my door.
Okay, now that I know that, I will definitely be ordering it. Oh my gosh. Excuse me, I'm
Hmm.
just going to be doing an order right now. Pardon me. I'll be right back.
Like later. But
Yeah,
yeah,
this has been
so
fun,
those
but
are the
I've got
things.
a sticky toffee pudding waiting.
I like the food part, and I like,
Yeah.
what it has. I have good memories of like as being a kid growing up in Jamaica during Christmas, and that's usually the time where it gets a little cool, temperature wise.
Okay. Right. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Well, you put on a little sweater. And it's a nippy, like 77 degrees,
Oh, nippy. Oh, you're spoiled.
and right. And it's like you just feel there's just a different feeling in the air because everyone is just, I don't know how to describe it. I just feel joy, just that Christmas joy. And like my mom used to
That's
always
the
bake
perfect
the
word.
cake. So it's like you just have the smell. of everything
Mm.
going. And yeah, I love that part of Christmas. Everyone just sitting down. But I also do feel like all the things we do is just surrounded by food. So I don't know how to get away from
But that's
that.
not a bad thing. I mean, if food is the tradition, that's the comfort, right? That's what
Yeah,
becomes,
but
I mean, let's face it, turkey dinner is turkey dinner. It's like,
yeah, we don't even
you
do
know,
that.
no, and I find we're straying away from it more and more. But it's like it's traditional, but it's not everybody wants turkey, not everybody likes turkey. So it's kind of the food, like the kids all learn to cook because I'm not a good cook. Like, and I don't like cooking and I don't bake. So they've all kind of self-protection. They kind of, all learn to do it themselves because God
It's
knows I
hilarious.
don't do it. I don't do it. I mean, I make lasagna one day a year, and that's Christmas Eve, and that takes me like 2 days to do it because
What?
I'm not good in the kitchen. I'm terrible at measuring. I will stand there making cookies. It'll take me 2 hours because I have to keep referring back to the recipe. Was that right? Did I do that right? Well, I'm
Aw.
terrible. Terrible. So they've all, out of self-preservation, as I said, they've all learned how to cook. So they're kind of now adding to the meals as like Thanksgiving meals, Easter, whatever, celebration, birthdays. They're now adding, and their comfort food is all Asian food. Being half Chinese, that's their comfort food. So
Yeah.
they will tend to gravitate towards ramen or noodles or dumplings. That's their dim sum is their comfort.
And that's hard to
So
make.
yeah, it is. It is.
I
But
mean, I've
between
made
two of them,
dumplings before. I just want to throw it out there that I can make dumplings.
you're
That's
one
right.
up on me.
Mm-hmm.
I
That's
can I
right.
can make rice. I can boil rice. Although having said that, the other day I burnt the pot so badly, it was terrible. It's
Because
rice. I
I was
know, I
just
burnt the
about
rice.
to commend you and say that it's not easy because not everybody knows how to make rice properly.
Typically I do, but I had COVID way back in March and my brain's still, or March of 2020, my brain's still not quite there. So I sat down, I put the water on, I put it on to boil, and I sat down. And then the alarm went off.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. I'm a special kind of
It's
girl.
okay. We forgive you. You are
Thank
the
you.
person who should just always have some kind of Uber Eats, DoorDash, whatever it is. Just be ready,
Yeah.
just in case. Be nice
I
to your
have a
neighbors.
t-shirt. Dwania, I have a t-shirt that is a little stick person. And she has a takeout menu in one hand and the phone in the other, and it says, "See Jane order dinner." Hmm. And that is so me.
But now, though, being that you don't really have to worry about being responsible for feeding anyone, not so much, you
Right.
can do whatever you want.
Well, I made stew today in the crock pot this morning, and I think I made enough for 10 people because I haven't figured out how to make it for two or three or four. So
Oh, Jane.
I know. I'm like I said, I'm a special kind of person. I have not figured
Same.
out how to produce those recipes, how to cook for under like if there's only two of us, I've not figured out how to cook for two. I always look at it and go, that's not enough. That's not enough. It's just
Oh,
years of and like I said, I don't even like cooking, and yet I'm still chopping and adding more to it. And yeah. Hmm.
you know what? I don't say this often, but I'd give up. I wouldn't even bother trying anymore. No bother. No.
No, it's yeah, COVID, I really learned the takeout menus well.
You and I both. The past couple of years, I don't even want to look back at my history to see how much money they have made from me because I would be very upset. So,
Right. It's funny. I was watching a show today. I was having a very lovely, quiet day, and I was Netflix. Well, that's why I was thinking of your sister. I was on Netflix, and I had never watched Grey's Anatomy before, and that became my show during COVID. And I was just, are you laughing at me, or is this something you've indulged in yourself?
oh, I'm only a season behind. I am all about grace. Anything Shonda does
Okay.
is vital.
Anything Shonda does is amazing. You're absolutely right. And I'm at the COVID part. And I'm sitting here going, wow, part of me misses that quiet. I mean, the stillness that happened, I mean, obviously for the wrong reason, but the stillness that happened was just incredible. And
It
it's
was.
kind of reminiscent, watching the COVID episodes, it's kind of reminiscent of that. Obviously, in this case, it's the hospital and the lack of staff and the horrific hours. And I understand that. But it brought home that, oh, yeah, everybody was home. It felt good. And I ordered out a lot. So,
You know it's bad when you will like order a sundae from a particular place with an M,
I
and
did
by the
that.
time it's delivered, you probably paid $15 for that.
We did it. We did it with a particular place that starts with a D. And by the time I got it, it was just a puddle, but it was so good.
Oh,
Did the
it's
same
okay.
thing. The M
It
place
made us
doesn't have strawberry sundaes anymore. So,
really.
yep, it was just,
It's
it broke my heart.
it's okay. It made us better people. We are appreciative of the little things, no matter how expensive they are. We are even more
True.
appreciative of the delivery options and the how everyone upped their game on delivery. I appreciate
Yeah,
that. I can
100%.
only
Again, you can order from Babette and Bell.
I mean, yeah. When you can order from Toronto and you live in Mississauga and they will deliver it, it's
I
great.
know. That is amazing. That
Mhm,
is
mhm.
amazing. I actually had a client. She was, they were redoing all their insurance. They wanted to insure their two daughters and they were doing their insurance. And at the end of it, I really wanted to show my appreciation. So I put together a beautiful basket for like movie night. And I had Santa Claus deliver it because it was Christmas time. So these two
Oh,
little girls flipped out. There was a Santa basket, flipped out. So you can actually get anybody to deliver anything. It was
that is
like the mom just, she called me and she said, I don't know how you did this. And I said, well, I called the North Pole, obviously. So the girls were
that
just
is
like over the moon. It's
so
just
being
like,
that you can have anyone deliver anything, can I like start making special requests as to who I want to show up at my door with a gift for my birthday?
if you start now, you probably could.
Because you know,
You
people,
probably
my
could.
birthday is in 15 days. Just saying.
It's coming. It's
I like
coming.
pretty, just, all the gorgeousness that I could just look outside and be like, ooh. And I love surprises too. So,
Well, I will show up in a bikini for you. Okay, you might
whatever
slam the
works.
door on me, but I would slam the door on me. Here's
No,
your
my
basket.
request would be it can't just be in a bikini. I'm going to need a song and a dance in the middle of the road, please. Like, make it
I
wonderful.
told you already, I will sing, but you will not enjoy it.
I'm a believer in the fact that everyone can sing. It's just varying degrees of how well or not so well you can. And I will listen to some, I will chuckle at others, and.
You will do this at mine. Please stop.
Um, I'm about to talk about my mother. Y'all never met my mother. She loves to sing, but she cannot well.
Your mother's a doll, though. She's a sweetheart.
Oh, she is. She is the best yet, but not the singing part. Like she will sing, and all of us will look at each other like, "What song is that?" And then we'll
That's
catch a
me.
word, and we'll be like, "Oh, is this the song?" And she'll be like, "Yeah, yeah." We're like, "That's not what you were singing."
I have to sing with your mom. We would make a great duo.
I think you would because somehow you'd understand each other. The rest of us won't understand you, but somehow you'd understand each other.
Yeah, but don't forget, I'm horrifically hearing impaired, right? So my singing is like, right, okay. I in my head I sound amazing, but apparently that's not the case.
Yeah, yeah. Well, my
Apparently
mom
not.
told me as a kid she was on a choir in school. And she really loved singing, so she would go to the choir. And she said one day the choir director just had to tell her, like, look, I'm sorry, like you can't sing.
Oh, was she crushed? Oh,
She
poor
said,
mom.
like, that's her only downfall in life. She was so hurt.
Your
But now
poor
we can't
mom.
stop her. She's gonna sing, damn it.
Well, there's this funny thing. When you turn 50, your give a damn breaks. And when you turn 60, you really don't give a hoot who hears what. So it's very liberating. So in that respect, now that I'm 60, I will sing every Christmas song I know at the top of my lungs. And I won't care who says what.
Well, I didn't know you had to wait till you turn 50, because I can tell you right now, I think like late 30s, 40, I was like, screw the world. And that's not the finger I used.
You used to see a
Screw the
tower.
world. Yes. CN Tower to the world, because I'm saying doing whatever I feel like doing and I don't give a hoot.
I agree with you. I agree. I think it took me a little bit longer coming from a more traditional background to say my give a damn broke. But yeah, once it broke, it was very liberating. It was just
I
like,
think
I don't
cancer did
care.
it for me though, because then I was like,
Yeah,
life is too short. I don't really care. I don't have time for this. I'm gonna just
100%.
do what I feel like doing, say what I feel like saying, and
Well, my mom died when I was 36. She was diagnosed on my 36th birthday with pancreatic cancer. And for 2 months, I took care of her. My sister came into town and took care of her. And the one thing she taught me has become my mantra for life is if you're going to worry about it on your deathbed, take care of it. If you're not going to remember it on your deathbed, throw it away and who cares?
yeah.
And she was 65 when she died. I was 36. I thought it was my 37th birthday. So a whole year went by, and I realized the next birthday I was 37. So I looked at my kids and said, that's it, I'm 36 forever. So I have had 24, 36-year-old birthdays. So you
Okay.
know what? It worked for me.
28.
But she's so right, right? If you're going to actually remember this event on your deathbed, and she said to me, she used to, growing up, she used to say, she was a bit real hippie, but she used to say, you can never be too rich or too thin. And she was super thin, and she was, well, not rich, sadly, but when she was on her deathbed, she said, well, apparently you can be too thin. So you know what? Eat that extra dessert. Like, life is so short. Eat the dessert. Start with dessert. Have cake for breakfast. Have your glass of wine. Um, it's a short life. It really is. We're not here for very long.
It
So
is. I mean,
enjoy.
those are some words to live by. Those are the words we're going to definitely take with us.
Yeah.
Along with, I think I was listening to a podcast and Jennifer Lewis said, if you had 5 minutes to live, what would you do? And she's like, live your life like you only have 5 minutes left.
Yep. Yep. And
So
love
that,
and love the people, and you
yeah,
love everyone in your life as if it's the last day you're going to see them.
yeah.
Yeah,
Do
those
it,
are the
people.
things that my mom taught me. Yeah, it was interesting. She took dying in, she was so funny. The other thing, she kept her sense of humor while she was dying. And at one point she looked at me and she said, don't come to me, don't come to the grave. I'm not going to be there. And by the way, life, the whole lesson of life is short. And then she looked at me and I said, Mom, you're saying so much. And she said, you know what? I'm dying. I can say whatever the hell I want. So
Yes,
I'll
you
come
can.
all my faults, all my, take care of your
Yep.
sister, take care, do this, and then make sure, the whole list came out. She said, I said, these are things you never said to me before. And she said, yeah, but what are you going to do? Kill me? Okay. Point taken. So yes, live your life as if it's, you've got Jennifer Lewis is right, as if you have 5 minutes left to live it fully every day, laugh. And that's what I said. I keep my sense of humor because what else can you fall back on? Right?
Exactly. And because I'm a full circle kind of girl, make sure you get life insurance while you're at it so that, everybody else can live good after you're gone. Jane,
100%.
how does everyone get through to you? Where do they find you?
Well, my company name is Your Real Life Insurance Company. So it would be www.yourreallife.ca. I'm on Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn. If anyone needs to reach out to you, you've got my information. I'm happy to share it with anyone. And just so you know, reaching out to me, it doesn't cost you a penny. I think a lot of people kind of hesitate about reaching out, thinking, oh, what's she going to charge or what's the cost? Insurance doesn't have to be expensive, and my services are actually free. So, even if you just want to take a look and make sure you have enough, or if you have too much, because that happens too, reach out to me. I'm happy to help.
There. So, find her on Facebook and on LinkedIn. Definitely do it. I did it. She's great, as you can tell.
Aw, thanks.
And thank you, everyone, for watching. Remember to like the video. Remember to share it with your friends. Don't be selfish. Remember to subscribe to the channel. We are actually going to be dropping an Ask the Expert segment in about a week or so.
Oh, nice.
And this one is going to be the finance edition. So be ready, or the accounting edition. Yes, be ready for that. And there might be something happening December. I just, thinking about it. But aside from that, have a wonderful evening and cheers to it still being the weekend, everyone.
It is.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks, Rania.